So now that you guys know what classification is, how it works, and have a little idea of those 6 kingdoms, what we're going to look at now is how we identify organisms using what's called a dichotomous key. Okay, the word dichotomous basically means two, dichotomy, characteristics or traits, 2 traits. So what happens is you have these paired statements that for each statement it tells you 2 things. And it can either be, if you're looking at, say, an animal, the animal will either meet one characteristic or the second, the first or the second, and you just follow the instructions and you go through these paired statements again and again and again until you get to the resulting answer for what the animal or plant or bacteria or whatever it is that you're looking at, how it works. So again, series of paired statements. That's really what a dichotomous key is. Now that may sound a little confusing, so let's take a look at how it actually works with a sort of funny little example. Alright, let's talk about who this lovely little lady is. This is an imaginary creature in the genus Novus. So it's broken down, so the genus name, we already have the first half of the name. We're going to use a dichotomous key to try and figure out who this particular Novus actually is. So I'm going to do these first ones with you guys, and you can follow along. Alright, now what you're seeing here is just part of the total dichotomous key along with the picture of our first Novus, but this will work for now. So you see the first set of paired statements right here. I'm kind of mousing over it at the moment. It gives us 2 opposites, and that's almost always what you're going to see. We have has pointed ears, has rounded ears. You can't have both. So if we take a look at her ears, they're pretty rounded. So we say has rounded ears, go to 2. So we go down to number 2, has no tail or has a tail. I don't see a tail sticking out anywhere, so I'm going to say has no tail, and then that goes ahead right there, this one's nice and short, and tells us the species name. So our genus name here would be Novus, our species name is Kentuckius, and I'll show you what that looks like here in just a sec. Alright, so like we said, Novus Kentuckius. Now when we write a scientific name, we'll work on this more in class later, the first or genus name is always capitalized, the species name is not, and we always want to put it in italics, or if you're writing it out by hand, go ahead and underline it. So we've already figured out the first one. We're going to do one more of these together, and then I'm going to let you guys kind of do a different classification activity on your own. So let's look at our second one. Alright, I'm showing you our second Novus here along with the dichotomous key, a little bit more of it actually in point of fact. So we go to number 1 again. You always want to start back at the beginning. Has pointed ears or has rounded ears? Well, if we take a look at his ears here, he's got pointed ones. So that tells us to go to step 3 this time. So we go down to 3. Do the ears point upward or do they point downward? Again, looking over, they point downward, so we go to 4. Engages in waving behavior or has hairy tufts on ears. Well, 1, I can tell you right now, it doesn't look like he's waving at all of any type. And we can sort of see these little hairs coming out of his ears. So, this Novus is Novus californius. And again, the way we would go ahead and write that name is just like this. So again, write the scientific name. First genus name capitalized, second isn't, the whole thing's in italics. So our Novus number 2 is Novus californius. Alright, what you guys are going to do now is go ahead and open up the PDF document or the Word document that's linked on Edmodo for the classifying fish activity. You also need to go ahead and click the link that's going to take you to Discovery Education, where you can basically answer those questions online. For your name, please enter your period followed by your last name. So let's say I was in 4th period, I would be 4 Anderson. That's going to help me make it a little bit easier. It's going to tell you to put your name in, period number, your last name. Then you'll go ahead and just work through that worksheet. Do your best. It gives you a hint and a little bit of help on the first one, but that is your homework for tonight. So that needs to be done by 10 o'clock this evening. Alright guys, I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.